I'm sorry. Is that funny? Are you stand-up comic? Is that what you do now?
I will consult the bones.
Throw me a frickin' bone here.
I'm sorry I was born with this perfect bone structure.
It's time for the Comedy Bone Podcast, stand-up comedy radio with your host, Brian Monarch. Are you ready?
All is ready.
There are 215 bones in the human body. That's one.
I just got that old-fashioned romantic feeling where I'd do anything to bone her.
All right. Here we go. Episode. There you go, Greg.
Let me back that up. That's a great intro. I thought that was a nice start.
Thank you, Greg.
I did. I thought it was very professionally mixed. I thought it sounded like a real show.
Thank you. We got, let's check it out. I'm looking at all the angles here. We got the Greg Wilson on the love seat. He was on Modern Family, VH1, and what's World's Dumbest?
World's Dumbest is the new show.
That's the new show right there. And then on the couch, we have Erik Griffin, who plays Montez Walker on Workaholics. How you doing?
Yeah. Can I tell him I was doing an impression of you on the drive up here?
Where are you
okay?
from? That?
This is you on the drive here. What the fuck am I doing, man? Third season, man. Third.
Is it
What
third?
am I doing?
Third season, I'm still doing them.
Still doing it. That's all I can. You're just like, I'm still doing podcast. Third season.
No, but I mean, come on. This is like, I think, my fifth podcast this week.
Right,
Really?
exactly.
Nice.
You're probably a very popular guest.
I'm
right now.
getting a loud Greg mic, hot mic on
I know,
Greg,
I'm trying to
and
back
a
it
low
off.
Let's
mic
see.
on Erik.
Let's see here.
But maybe that's just my ears.
It could be the volume in which they're speaking, too.
I feel
I
very,
know, I
should adjust
I feel
that,
very
though.
echoey.
But he's very close to his microphone.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
I don't know.
Let me
I'm
see.
no engineer.
Talk, Erik.
Hello, I'd like some more pizza.
There we go. I turned him up a little bit,
Yeah, a little more on the mic.
and then we'll turn Greg down a little bit. Say something.
We
got to remember that I scream.
We need
All right, we'll
Greg
put you right there.
way down.
Way down. Bring that way down.
There we go.
To the
Greg in
point
the
where we
kitchen.
have to go, huh?
Let me tell you something. There's no place with the microphone I've ever been where I haven't immediately seen the guy working the board going, oh. Let me bring that way down there.
All right, we have one more guest. Kyle Dunnigan in the house.
Hello.
Boo. Reno 911.
Boo.
You're touring with Sarah Silverman right now, right?
Yes.
That's cool. That's awesome. She's one of my favorites.
Wow, credit dropping over here. Let me grab that. It fell on the ground there.
I know that Erik is doing the Brea Improv later this month.
Now,
Am I?
Sarah-
Yeah,
Sarah-
you are.
is
I hope
Sarah
you remember
single?
that.
Oh,
Huh?
yeah.
Is Sarah single right now? She's still single?
She's my girlfriend.
Sarah's your girlfriend?
Yeah.
Oh, no wonder she has a better agent than you. Holy shit. I didn't know she was your girlfriend.
How do you know my agent's not amazing? I mean, you happen to be right.
Well, unless she managed to get you on board, in which case you're her favorite client, who he represents on the side, and then the second you guys break up, off the roster.
Are you
got a
serious?
cynical view of Hollywood. Hollywood is about trust, caring, and people
Right, and
taking care of
relations-
each other.
Yeah,
Relationships.
Relationships and being true to each other no matter what.
That's Hollywood.
Is
Greg
that-
doesn't get
is,
it.
is she really your girlfriend, or are you
really
fucking around?
cynical.
No, we've been dating like 8 months.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Right, that's what I was saying. I didn't know about this. This is a...
Wait, but wasn't it part of the deal that it wasn't supposed to be public? Aren't you going to
No,
get in
we've
trouble
been on
right
other
now?
podcasts. We were on Comedy Bang Bang.
That's cool.
Last week, actually.
And didn't
They kind of like your first date.
Whoa!
Hey now, comedy, bang bang.
Didn't you used to date Danielle Stewart?
In 2001.
Wow, you're getting the roll call of the few decent, the 300. Did you get Whitney too? If you got Whitney and Eliza, you nailed Whitney too. Fantastic! Wow, we need to bronze your dick and put it in the Comedy Hall of Fame.
All the Jewish chicks, all the Jewish comedians.
Eliza, did you get Eliza?
Nope.
No.
I think that's it for comedians.
That's the whole list, though, in terms of actual
2 people.
comic girls that are hot.
Yeah.
That are real comedians.
So let's talk about the funny ones now.
Hey, those are fighting words.
Hey,
I think they're both hilarious.
Yeah.
What's
I
it
do
like
too.
opening for your girlfriend, though? Does it make you feel
You know
like you're
what?
not much of a comic?
No, it doesn't bother me at all.
You love
I mean, people have asked me that, but I
she's famous,
love
dude.
the work. Yeah, she's like a
I
legend.
know, but like now I think less of you.
I feel like you're trying to fight on this podcast, but I'm too drugged up to be mad.
No, dude, I'm jealous as shit. It's so awesome. It's big news.
It doesn't bother me. People ask me that, but I mean, maybe because I'm older now and I kind of settled into like.
That's exactly what
I think. If I was maybe in my 20s, I might be a little competitive. But
it sounds like you guys are doing a podcast and I'm in the hall outside. Yelling in my shitty commentary.
I had no clue that he was dating her, by the way.
I didn't either. That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm actually probably this.
I thought he was fucking with you.
I think the rash on my face is throwing you guys off, too. I have a little heat rash on my face.
Every time I
got an ugly outfit on.
Does it hit you like right here and like up here?
Yes. Whenever I play tennis or anything fun, I get this like heat rash now.
That's fucked up.
It's
getting old. Getting older.
It's a sign of youth when you get a heat rash.
Is it?
It means you're getting younger.
Let's go get you some.
Somewhat, Greg. What are you going to get me? You ran out.
I did. I couldn't think of the baby lotion brand.
I think you should put a little closer.
Older.
Okay, let's try it. I am getting older. I'm fucking old as shit.
No, how old? You got to be 22? How old are you, Greg?
Please. Okay. What are you trying to fuck me now?
This
is Hollywood.
And I'm not just saying it. You don't age very poorly. You're aging pretty well. I've known you for a while.
Which I think is unfortunate because people think I'm younger than I am and I'm older than I am.
He's kind of aging like Bilbo Baggins. You know?
That's what I was going to say. He's aging like Bilbo Baggins.
You know,
that's exactly right.
He's just going to stand up in front of a comedy club and go, I have to say goodbye. And he's just going to vanish.
It's my time.
So
there's a nerd reference.
I wanted to hit you guys up about just like some stand-up comedy questions. Because that's the roots that we all have together, I think, to some degree. At least you three do. And
I'm glad you recognize
totally. We were all going to say that.
Let's see.
Well, some of us have that.
Hey, come on.
Most of us are funny here. Come on.
To some degree, right?
You produce a lot of shows.
I do produce a lot. Thank you, Greg. That is such a nice compliment.
There you go. That's how it's done.
This guy over here, there's a fucking contempt dude right here.
Oh, dude, I'm the biggest. I'm the ball. And I don't consider myself a hater. I consider myself a ball buster because I bust balls only because I'm jealous or I enjoy it. It's not that I'm a hater. I think what you're doing is great. I just like to bust balls.
You're in Granada Hills and you're upset a little bit.
Yeah. Well, I think we all are. I think we all grew a certain amount driving out here like, this is a long way.
Yeah, when I got to the 118, I was like, wow. Season 3.
I told you. Season 3, driving out 118.
Come on the 118.
On my Sunday.
I didn't even know there was.
Sunday.
I didn't know there was a 118.
I thought he said 114.
Do you guys love stand-up comedy? Because I've talked to a few. Like
you have to, or you won't stay in it long enough.
If you had $10 million, would you still do stand-up comedy?
Yes.
Yeah.
You?
And I would do it for $10 million.
Yeah, I'd probably buy a club, though.
Right, and just do it on
when you want.
terms.
Yeah. My own term. Change the game.
Or a nice long Vegas gig. That's also nice. That's like America just coming to you.
No, I think that's where you go to die.
Well, that's what we're talking about. You buy your own club and you built your own graveyard.
Yeah, basically. Yeah.
I'm going to perform until I die right here. Which is actually how most comedy clubs are bought and owned by guys that are like, you know what, I think I'm done touring. I think I'm just going to stay here now.
I think a lot of comedy clubs, I've been to a few comedy clubs I think are just money laundering businesses.
They don't run things. There's so many things they could do better about running comedy clubs.
Oh, yeah.
One of the main things is dropping the check in the middle of the
headliner set.
Act. It's like, just wait for the show's over and then...
Or just get your shit together and do it on the transition like it's supposed to be done.
When you go to a theater, you don't... Like, when you're watching a movie, there's 20 minutes left, and you imagine someone came and gave you... You had to pay the bill for the movie. It's such a weird...
It is very odd.
But during... if you're doing 2 shows on a Saturday night, you know, that first show, like, when are you going to do it? Is it going to be like 8 o'clock and 11 o'clock?
Move it up 20 minutes. I mean, I know
7:30 and 10,
if
or
you
8
open
and
a
10:30.
club, I just want you to... If you have a club,
when you open
don't
a
have
club,
the check drop.
you should call it third season.
Yeah.
The third season comedy club.
No, what they really should do is just have like one of those like little computers on the table where people could just slide their card or
something.
Something with where it's just
Look,
instantaneous.
It's supposed to be the check spot.
And
that's the spot that comes
they...
right before. There's supposed to be the MC does a few extra minutes while they fucking do that shit. But the waitresses never get it done.
The trays that they put the checks in to put on the table are like they're built to make a lot of noise. Like make that a Nerf or something that like just that you hear clanging.
Eliminate sizzling fajitas across the board.
Maybe the admission price.
I don't care who's on stage. They hear that sound, come in the room, show's over.
But the check drop thing is just, it's just like you see it happening, and you're just like, okay, well.
Right, I just lost your attention.
Yeah, I guess
you got to do math.
Then you got to start doing, like, the check jokes,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Who ordered tax?
Yeah.
That's, I hate it, and I use it.
At the beginning, when they're taking orders as well, when the first shift goes around, they're just taking everybody's order, and you're opening the show.
Yeah, and they're talking, but it's okay, because you're the opener, so go fuck you.
Yeah, that's true, too.
But to answer your question,
go fuck yourself.
I probably would still do stand-up comedy. I love doing it that much, but I'd probably go to just to open mics, start some like shitty alternative.
I think I have like an itch for attention. I think that's how it started. I remember being miserable in college and being like alone and having this need to go on stage, which must have been like I needed attention.
Yeah,
and look at the path it's taking you down. You're dating Sarah Silverman. I have a little gripe with you, by the way.
Rash on your face? Yeah.
The whole Craig character. Yeah. You know for a fact that I am in love with the Craig character. I've told you this at least 3 or 4 times. I don't know if you remember the things I tell you.
Yeah, I like that you're in love with the character.
Here's the thing that kind of pissed me off. When you did Stardust, you said, introduce me as Craig Strong.
Yeah.
You changed his last name?
Yeah.
Why would you...
See, do they own the name of the other one?
Well, here's the thing. I have a deal with Comedy Central right now. I have a script deal, and I had to change the name because the character got killed in Reno 911.
Right.
Actually, so it is a different character, but I didn't want to change the Craig name, so I just changed the last name.
Uh-huh.
You know what? I was a late...
Good eye, though, or good ear.
I was a late bloomer on Reno 911. I just recently, like 3 months ago, watched every episode on Netflix.
It's pretty fucking funny. I love that show.
That's a lot
hilarious.
of
Yeah.
But it's just addictive. When you watch, actually, to me, watching a television show, the best way to watch television shows is like Hulu or Netflix.
Right, like all in a row.
All in a row.
My girlfriend
you really
and I,
enjoy it.
Yeah, totally.
We did that with Game of Thrones over Easter weekend, and it was
I love that show.
Season finale is tonight.
Yes, it is.
Yep.
And we watched the whole first season all in a row one day, and then like 7 episodes of the second season.
You do lose the weekend, though. You will lose the weekend.
But it was the best way to lose weekend. We had the best time.
Yeah,
I did that with Entourage.
Ew.
Seasons later. You don't like that shit?
I don't know how many episodes of that I can watch back to back.
I did it with That's So Raven. I regretted it.
I heard she came out of the closet that she's a big lesbian now. That's what I heard.
Heard she's a small lesbian.
That's so Raven.
To be a big lesbian.
So you got that thing with Tig going, and how's that going?
The podcast?
Yeah, you also seem to do a lot of shows together.
We do, yeah. We like each other a lot.
And she was on the Sarah Silverman show.
Yes.
That was one of my favorite couple episodes that she was on. Yeah. I like the one where she had an HIV test. Sarah. You ever see that one?
Oh.
And she finds out that she was negative. And
that's a funny episode.
That's a good one. Oh, man.
Yeah, we actually all, I met Sarah through Tig, actually. They're really good friends. Yeah.
That's cool. So you have a girlfriend. You have a girlfriend.
Yes.
What about you?
Non-comedy girlfriend.
You have a girlfriend?
Please, shut up. You know I got a girlfriend. You met her. Haven't you met my girlfriend?
It's been a while, right?
Wait,
like 3 years
hookers
now.
count? Hookers count?
If you pay them for 2 nights in a row, you're goddamn right they do.
It's like the rental laws in California.
How much does a girlfriend cost? Would you say we spent on your girlfriend a year monetarily? If you didn't have one, how much money would you be saving?
Well, but the thing, though, because we live together, there's a split on expenses, so I save so much on that end. Pretty much I spend all that surplus then on her.
Oh, yeah, that's a savings.
So it is a savings.
Totally.
Well, instead of over $1,000 a month, I pay like $650 a month.
His real girlfriend is probably alcohol. You know what I mean? If you want to talk about...
No, weed. I'm married to weed.
Yeah, he's married to weed.
I've been in a 22-year marriage.
No, weed is just your mistress.
She's the only one I see every day.
What about you, Eric?
No. I was close once to getting married once.
Were you really?
Yeah, I was very close.
Was it a white girl or a black girl?
It was this Filipino girl, so I'm done with Asian girls forever.
Boy, I don't believe that at all.
I know.
If
I say with conviction. If the right one,
If the right one, the next one. If anyone was sauntered in here was like, "Ooh, I love you on the Workaholic," you're like, "This my new girl." Ping pong.
So I just been, because I was a late bloomer in terms of comedy. Like, it was in 2003 that I quit my job and was like, I went for this, going to open mics every day. So,
Well, and that's why you have to do it. Going into it at that level in a relationship that's on the brink of marriage, not a good way to launch a comedy career.
Well, this was like at the end of we'd broken up. My point was when I was with her, I wasn't doing anything. I wasn't productive. She wasn't. I need to be motivated. I'm that guy.
Right.
I need somebody to be like,
no, stay home with me.
Yeah, it wasn't like not even that. It'd be like, oh, you're going somewhere again. You know.
It's like,
so I wasn't really doing it. Yes. I wasn't really doing it. I had a whole different life plan. So I regret. I'm really anti-relationships right now.
Does your girlfriend understand? She's not in comedy. Does she get that you have to like go out at night?
Yes, completely.
Yeah, she seems pretty cool.
Although, by the same token, though, I do sacrifice any night that I don't have. Like, it used to be, if I wasn't booked on a show, I'd still go out and be around comedy. But now I sacrifice most of those nights to be home with her. Because I would rather be home with her. And I don't really have to be around comedy as much to get booked anymore, so it doesn't hurt me that much.
So when you guys are single and you're headlining, this is a question I have. We'll call this the Chuckle Fucker Corner. When you guys are like, headlining in another state...
Yes.
This is when you're single. Don't worry. You're single in this scenario.
Okay, yeah.
How many times out of 10 would you get laid on that weekend?
Out of 10, wait a minute. Out of 10
is it like every time?
Out of 10 weekends headlining or
no.
out of 10 nights on the road?
You can have sex whenever you want when you're on the road in some little town.
Oh, right? I can't.
I mean, no. Listen, no. Are you talking about quality right now? Or are you talking about quantity?
You're just talking about being. He's talking about being able to bang. You could potentially bang somebody.
There's fat bitches all over the country.
Fat moms.
Oh, you just mean anybody?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh.
Look at this guy. Look at this guy with his high standards. I'm dating Sarah Silverman. So
I
don't talk like that.
I
never talk like that.
Yeah. So you can always.
There's usually, I mean, at least over the weekend, there's at least one or two.
Yeah.
You know, it's just a matter of whether you take them up on it.
One
time I had a shot at a threesome, but the other girl was so fucking ugly, I couldn't do it.
I had that happen once. It wasn't a comedy situation, but there was a girl who was trying to get a threesome going, and this girl was fat and had the smallest boobs ever, and it was just like, come on, this is my friend, and the bitch slapped me in the face because I didn't do it.
Wow.
Yeah, when the girl left the room, and she got in my face and smacked me. I said, I'm out of here. I left. I went downstairs. She came downstairs behind me, and this chick was so crazy. 5 minutes later, we were having sex in my front seat, just me and her. But
excellent.
Right after she smacked me in the face, though.
Well, you needed that stimulation.
I guess that's what it takes.
No, she had to do that for her friend.
Her friend didn't know she did it, I don't think. Maybe she did. I
think she needed to do that for her friend, and then she's like, but I'll fuck you in your car. Let's go out.
It wasn't a conversation. It was pretty much a fight.
I was trying to get my disgusting friend laid. I'm sorry.
I didn't have as good numbers as you guys.
What happened
when I was single? I think it was about 1 out of 10.
1 out of 10?
Yeah.
Were you trying, though?
When I was single, yeah.
Like, really trying? Like, that was your focus? Like,
I think kind of.
That was never
not
my focus.
I gotta say, there are some towns.
I never tried either. I mean,
but you gotta admit, there are some towns where it's like every single night. I mean, it's just a bang town, and then there are other places that nothing happens all weekend.
Well, see, I think this is about. First of all, this is a character thing. You know.
Yeah.
Greg is I'm gonna bang chicks type of guy. You know, he's a party guy. He's got
most chicks knew what I wanted.
Yeah, he's got 3 or 4 drinks going. He's a party guy. That's his whole thing. And there are a lot of dudes that are like that. That just like I wasn't like that. I'm not like that. I have my notebook, or I want to get away from people after the show because I'm tired. I just gave them I gave them a lot of myself.
Right.
And I'm just like, I don't want to deal with this right now. But I guess when you're over 35, you know what I mean. It's a little different.
I'd have to say I missed out on a lot because they wanted more show. And I'm like, I already did the show. It's bang time. You know?
They wanted some more comedy.
Yeah,
after the show?
wanted more comedy with their friends. And no.
But I know a lot of comics that their whole thing is when they're on stage is like
it's hooking up, laying down the girl in the audience that they want to hook up with.
Yeah, they're all okay, who am I?
Can I tell you? You know who I've seen that are the most egregious about that? Lesbian comics. Lesbian comics are the most aggressive in terms of nailing down a chick from the stage that I've ever seen.
Really?
Yeah.
Never seen
it.
Now,
I wouldn't say that about Tig. Because Tig, I haven't seen Tig that many times.
Tig gets a lot of pussy.
But I could see her doing it. I could see that happening. But yeah, the lesbian comics I've seen, they are the most directly aggressive with chicks in the audience.
She doesn't go after it, though. I mean, people come to her, but yeah, she's very. I think because she is like.
She's really laid back.
Yeah,
very low.
People come at her.
Do people ever come up to you and like just because you're on a TV show and just. They want to do stuff with you.
I ask him about this constantly.
That's a new predicament for me.
Like really?
Yeah, like last night I was at UC Santa Barbara.
Oh yeah, that show. That's a good show.
Is that a show we did?
Yeah, but this was bananas last night.
Was it really? Because of you?
Yeah.
Well, that's their show. Workaholics is their show.
Oh, it was crazy.
Yeah.
And then it was just this moment. There was just a moment where it just turned into like they wanted to do question and answer after I did like 45 minutes. They just want to ask me questions
about the show. Not
even about the show. They just want to ask me questions. Somebody was like, "What's your favorite sex position?" So I started talking about that. That kind of stuff.
Right.
So I just saw how they were like, and then this girl was like, "Will you date me?" That kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wow, okay, I got to start to figure out how to deal with this.
Dude, yeah,
like this. You know what I mean? Because now the show's
so
really becoming popular.
Did you go back to her dorm room or anything?
No, I couldn't go back to her dorm. I had to get to the fucking Comedy Store, do another set.
Fucking gigs.
Was it the auditorium across from that pizza place?
Yeah,
that we did?
exactly. Same
yeah.
It was jam packed.
Yeah, I'm sure it was.
And it was just like as soon as they say Workaholics, everybody's like,
Yeah. I've been putting Adam Devine on shows a lot lately. He
packs the place out.
Packs the
people
place
want to
out.
see it. People love TV people.
Yep.
They love to see people that stay on TV. It's true. That's all it is.
There's a story about the orange. If you put an orange on TV every day and then you roll it down the street, people be like, "Hey, there's that orange."
Right?
It's probably true.
It was so
I guess you guys aren't blown away by that.
I felt like we were at a UCB show.
Yeah, that was a real alternative.
Oh man! Any interesting heckler situations? Like, has it ever gotten ugly?
It's always
all
ugly.
the time.
Really?
It's always it's always a chick. It's always a chick.
Yeah.
Here's a worse. I was in. Have you done that club in Seattle? The Parlor.
Yeah.
So I'm at the Parlor, and these two girls are like acting up. So this is like I've already done 40 minutes. So now I'm like, okay, now I'm gonna do the show for me.
Right.
And I always tell them, look, you need to stop because you're going to end up crying. I say that every time. I do. I swear to you. I say every single time, if you don't stop, you're going to end up outside crying. Of course, these two girls are outside crying, you know. But anyway, as I'm roasting them for 20 minutes, then they finally get up. Okay, then some guy gets up after this and goes, "You're an asshole," right?
Right. It's like, I'm the asshole?
I'm like, okay, now you want to say something?
Yeah.
So when I was roasting them for 20 minutes, you don't say anything. Okay, the point of the story is, I Google alert my name. All right. So then my name pops up on this fitness website, and this guy was on it's called My Fitness. It's like the Facebook for fitness, whatever, you know what I mean? And he's talking about me. He's trashing me on this website. And all these people are going "Oh, good for you for telling that asshole comic." So you know what I did? I signed up for the website. And I started going because he tweeted at me and everything, and I tweeted back. I don't care,
Yeah.
People say Erik Griffin's an asshole. I retweet it. You know what I mean? Because they don't know. That blows their mind. They don't know what to.
Eric retweeted by Erik Griffin.
Yeah, it's an asshole. So it was just that's in this all. It happens. I think it happens in every city I go in. There's one show where there's some chick that really needs attention who's mad that I'm getting the attention. And then I have to tear into her in a certain way, and it's just.
But let me ask you this though, because I know the answer from me. But is there a part of you that kind of enjoys it?
Oh, I love it.
I love it too.
Especially,
I love it. I'm like,
and the hotter she is.
Oh, the better it is.
The better it is.
The more delicious it is to take them apart.
Yeah.
It's like I know everyone's laughed at your jokes and made you convinced you that you're funny your whole life, but you're not. And now I'm going to show you.
And then my absolute favorite thing ever is this is what they don't understand. Is when it's a chick that's with a guy.
Right.
Yeah.
And you're killing her, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then I always have to say to her, I want to point out to you that your man hasn't stood up for your honor not one time. Because he wants you to shut the fuck up.
Because he's on your, deep down.
That's the best when he's on your side. Yeah.
He really wants you to shut up.
Yeah.
And I always tell him, too, there's only one guy that has to put up with your bullshit. He's there. The rest of us could care less if you live or die.
Yeah.
What about you, Kyle? You diffuse them, huh?
I don't do that kind of angry comedy. I love my audience.
Yeah. What happens if someone acts up? What do you do? Call management immediately and have them removed.
You get a little code with the bouncers. Can I get some water?
Can I get some water plus salt?
Yeah, there's some clubs where they're really good about if someone's like,
some clubs are good about it, and some are terrible.
Yeah, sometimes they'll jump right on them. I've seen that, and sometimes they're just like, "Let's have fun."
Totally, if you need to handle it from the stage, it's like, well, then don't get upset the way I handled it. Then,
yeah,
I think the hardest heckle to deal with is next. That to me, I think it's really hard.
Yeah.
Somebody that's condescending.
Dude, then I just look. I'm like, I immediately that draws the who said that? Who said next? I'll tell you who's next. You're next. Then I go right at him.
Well, I'm normally hilarious, so that doesn't happen.
We can tell. We can tell by your attitude.
Well, I was gonna say it hasn't happened to me in years either, but it has happened.
You guys never started though.
What? Oh, no.
Well, I mean, sometimes you can inadvertently offend somebody with some crowd work.
Right.
Which I've done a lot.
If you just talk to someone, they could take it as you're starting something with them.
And it's funny, and I've noticed it's just about people in general. We're so disconnected from each other in a casual sense, in terms of actually interacting with a stranger in a non-confrontational way. We just don't do it.
Right.
We don't do it. So now, when you just talk to somebody, the natural assumption for most people is this is a confrontation.
Right.
They automatically assume you have a problem with them. Otherwise, why would you be talking to me? You don't know me.
I kind of feel like that's your experience.
No, I'm not just saying on stage. I'm not saying just on stage. I'm saying people in general, dealings with people around. Like, I was at the movies recently. This guy ordered something I thought was a really brilliant combination, like pretzels and gummy bears or something. I'm like, or a Slurpee. He ordered the Slurpee at the icy at the movies. And I've never considered ordering the icy, but it looked really good. And I'm like, that's a bold move with the icy. Now you got me thinking about it, right? But the second I addressed him, at first, he was like, what are you, and then he realized I'm just talking to him, and then it settled into conversation. And I feel like most people we're just not accustomed to being addressed by a stranger.
Greg even has hecklers at the movie theater.
Yeah.
No, I'm just saying,
No, I know what you mean.
We're very disconnected.
People aren't expecting
anymore.
a conversation
really
with some stranger.
So sometimes they take it wrong immediately.
Yeah.
And then, but I mean, I have a little game plan for that on stage. I just tell the self-deprecating joke and back out.
Right, but I think it's a style of comedy too, because you're a wordsmith.
I am?
Yeah.
I thought he did impressions.
Yeah. No,
I do a bunch of different. I do some music stuff too, and
I love that clip where you do the loop with the loop machine.
Yeah, I do a lot of different.
That's so cool.
I like that. I've never heard that before about me.
Yeah,
I'm a wordsmith.
Yeah, because that's why.
Because it's not correct.
No. I disagree.
I want to be a wordsmith.
No, but I'm saying that you definitely
advertising guys are wordsmiths.
So when somebody says somebody's heckling you saying next, that would be bothersome for you because you're doing a thing. You know what I mean? Like,
not that. Look,
he's saying you're not a natural performer.
No, not. Larry Merchant over here.
No, Larry Merchant would be like, he's saying.
Are you saying you're lying if you're saying you're not bothered by someone saying next if you're on stage?
No, I'm not saying I'm not bothered by that. But what I'm saying is I'm more conversational on stage. So
I don't think you know. Have you seen me perform?
Yeah.
Where?
Wherever, the improv.
I talk to the audience, and I don't have a set act. I mean, my act I feel is very all over the place.
Really? Well, if I saw you one time, you were doing some specific,
Yeah, sometimes I do specific, but I don't have a problem talking to the audience. I just don't like to get involved too much with back and forth because it just seems to be like the rest of the audience doesn't want to deal with somebody. They want to see a show as opposed to...
I agree completely. But that's, I always blame the rest of the audience, personally, because I always tell the rest of the audience, if somebody's acting up and I go, listen, I blame all of you. Because if this were a movie, nobody would put up with this shit. If somebody was talking in the movie, some white girl would get up and go get the manager, look, this person's talking, and it would be a situation. But in a comedy club, everybody's like, let's see what happens.
Yeah. Well, I always try and get the audience to demonstrate to the person that they aren't on their side. Because, in that person's mind, they're the star. They really think everyone else in the audience is thinking they should be on stage.
Yeah.
Right? So, I always get the audience involved. Would anybody else like this person to shut the fuck up and get them to do the applause and demonstrate to them that you're a nuisance?
But there's so much to think about, if you're headlining. I mean, I think about all these
things. The checks are down.
Not even just that. I remember I was in Seattle. I was at Seattle Underground, and it's 45 minutes in. They just gave me the light. I got the landing gear out. I'm about to
Right, that's the other thing. At the end,
and then this chick literally walks on stage.
Oh my God.
And she was drunk and high, and she's like, "It's my birthday." Now in my mind, I'm going, do I murder her right here?
That's when I would rip the skirt.
No,
up.
but here's the thing, because I'm thinking
there you go.
Do I get angry? And then everybody's uncomfortable. And then maybe they don't want to come back to this club again.
Right, right.
How do I do this? Do I be playful with it? So I kind of was playful with her, and then I called back something I said before that was perfect for the moment when everybody cheered and I got off stage.
Right.
But here's the thing. Afterwards, she comes up to me and she was like, "Oh my God, everybody thinks I was a part of the show." And then I was in her face you stupid fucking cunt. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like,
see, Erik Griffin and I share something. Neither one of us was handsome in high school, and so now we really relish the opportunity to tell bitches the what for. Okay, and not everybody has the relish in it that Erik and I share for ripping bitches down.
Yeah, if I could have choked her out, if it was legal to choke somebody
Totally,
out.
boy. I'll tell you.
So what was it?
I was very handsome in high school. Thank you very much.
That's actually true. He was in basketball, and he had. I mean, the face was the same, but he had guns.
Yeah.
The face was the same.
How long have you guys known each other?
How rude.
I just saw a clip. He posted a clip from high school on Facebook or some shit.
So what was it like the first time you did comedy?
The first time. Wow.
Oh.
Wow.
Sarah calling? Let's put Sarah on our first show.
Yeah.
That's my alarm.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I know.
That's
I'm
his
sorry.
phony I gotta go alarm that he set arbitrarily, knowing he was gonna
I
want
have
to
a
leave
7
early.
p.m.
So should we do the quiz?
Yes, I'm sorry.
Hey, man. All right, this is what we're going to do. You guys
What
have
happened?
he's got to be somewhere. We'll continue without him afterwards. But hold on 1 second.
That's a 5-minute light.
Everybody grab a pad. We're going to do this fun quiz. I know it's...
Did he get the? Wow.
Here, there's
And
pads
grab a,
and
grab a
markers.
marker.
I have to do
And
work.
markers.
You have a chance to win something, though.
Oh, what do we win?
I hope it's our
Mr.
Sunday
Hanky.
afternoon pack.
Oh, I want that.
Oh,
actually,
Mr.
yeah.
Hanky. Oh, that's pretty good.
It's actually not produced anymore. This is out of print, if you will. It has his son, Simon, who is mentally handicapped. He has a peanut in his head. And whoever gets the most points gets it.
Okay. What are we doing?
Just write your answers down. Don't share your answers. We're going to get through these
accept your
quick.
challenge.
All right. Here we go.
Can't hear myself.
This is for poo.
Yeah, this is for toy.
Can you...
You're getting shit.
Oh, there you go. Okay. All right.
You are a wordsmith.
See? See? How dare you?
You'd rather go along with it. You'd rather. That's right. He is.
That's
There you
right,
go.
he is.
All right. Question number 1. In the movie Wizard of Oz, have you all seen it?
Come on, just do the questions.
The Wiz?
The Wizard of Oz.
The black guy. Now the Wiz with Diana Ross and Michael Jackson twice.
Were the flying monkeys played by actual monkeys or by people?
Okay.
Question number 2. When a girl squirts, female ejaculate, is the fluid that comes out urine? Yes or no?
Now see, this one I've had debates about, so that'll be
Just give your best guess. Number 3. Where did the pop culture phrase, hey, you guys, come from?
Oh, okay.
Oh, shit.
Oh, boy, okay.
I think that's okay.
Some of these are tricky. Let me know when you're ready.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Number 4. Are there any man-made structures that you can see with the naked eye if you were standing on the moon, on Earth? You could see
Yes.
a man-made structure, and if so, what is it?
Okay. This is the first one I feel confident about.
This is just this isn't really a factual question. This is your best guess. How much money would it take for Brian to suck a dick? And there is a price I have on this.
You?
Yeah. Yes. I already have it established.
Okay.
Number 6.
Well, that's like inter-comedian joke there.
Totally.
There's no joke. I have a real
No,
price.
but that's...
No, we all get to take our joke at what you think
Right.
the price is. Yeah. Monkeys.
Okay.
Let's see what the wordsmith comes up with.
The chronological order of the Indiana Jones movies. Number 1 is Raiders of the Lost Ark. I'm not telling you the chronological order, but 1 is Raiders of the Lost Ark, 2 is Temple of Doom, 3 is The Last Crusade. Put them in the chronological order of what and when they take place chronologically. So it could be 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1, 2, 1, 3, 2, 3, 1.
Okay.
What?
It could be any combination of 1, 2, 3.
Because the third...
You just...
Last Crusade's got to be last.
It could be. But if it was actually before the other two, it would be 3, 1, 2. That's what I'm asking, for that combination of numbers. Yeah.
I don't even know.
All right, number
I think
7.
the only reason I know that one is because you've told me before.
Oh.
That is wild.
That's interesting.
I
did not know that,
That is
Ed.
current.
I thought for sure that the order was 1, 2, 3. I thought for sure.
Number 7. What is on the South Park show? Mr. Garrison's first name.
Ugh, I don't watch that show.
Really?
Yeah.
I love that show.
Oh,
All right.
that's a tough one. I watch South Park. I
Yeah.
don't say his first name.
A couple
very
times they do.
In your face.
I'm not sober during that show.
All right. If you tunnel
or
from...
any of my own.
This is a multiple choice, so it's going to be A, B, C, or D, so don't start writing things down. If you tunneled from somewhere in the United States all the way through the Earth, perfectly straight through the diameter, where would you end up on the other side? A, India, B, the Atlantic Ocean, C, the Indian Ocean, or D, China? It's A, India, B, Atlantic Ocean, C, Indian Ocean, D, China.
That's some guesswork right there. I'm going to go with what people always just said. Is what you would hit if you did.
And let's see, there's two more. Number 9. How many presidents were only children? And no siblings. Half siblings count as having siblings. So if they have a half brother or half sister, they're not an only child.
What? How many presidents?
How many presidents were only children?
You want a number?
Yeah.
Okay.
Not a lot of wordsmithing there. Beta.
And the last question, how many people on average are having sex at any given moment? Like right now, for instance.
Globally?
Yeah, it's an average number.
Like a percentage or like just
no,
a
just
number?
a number of people.
Any given
second, like right now, how many people are having sex?
Okay.
All right.
I hated that last question.
That last question was offensive.
It was just stupid. It was offensive.
All right, let's do this. I got to get out of here.
All right, here we go.
I got to go too, actually.
No, you don't.
Don't you also have to go?
Fuck all of you.
I think it's about to turn into
my alarm should go off.
The Brian Monarch solo cast.
My alarm just went off.
My mental alarm just went off.
All right, guys. Number 1, what'd you put?
People.
Monkeys.
People, you got it wrong, Greg.
Okay.
They come out of the air on pulleys and grab Toto and run around and pull him back up in the... All right.
I actually thought people, and then I thought, no, Greg. I talked myself out of people.
The smart Greg talked dumb Greg out of people.
Yes.
Number 2, what'd you guys put?
No.
You're right, it's not. It's not urine.
But isn't there a small component of urine in it? That's what I've been told recently.
It might catch some, who knows?
So, yeah.
But it's not primarily.
Right, exactly. Because it doesn't smell like urine. It doesn't.
All right. 3, what'd you guys put?
Electric company.
The electric company.
I put electric company / Sesame Street.
It's electric company.
Yay! You don't get
a
it.
lot of people
It isn't
think...
a slash. It's not Sesame Street.
Yeah.
A lot of
it's
people
electric
think...
company.
But it's that kind of
No.
thing.
He doesn't get a point.
He doesn't get a point.
I said electric company, though.
It was first.
But slash Sesame Street, you can't hedge your bets.
Yeah, that'd be accurate.
No, you can't hedge your bet. It was one or the other.
Yeah.
It was one or the other. We all knew it.
Yeah.
It wasn't Zoom.
You thought they were monkeys.
Yes, exactly, and I didn't get that one right.
I
And
want to
you
point
thought
out,
it was
I'm
Sesame
in the
Street.
lead right now.
Yes.
I'm writing them all down.
Okay.
A lot of people think it comes from Goonies, by the way, because that guy, Schloff, whatever his name is, that crazy looking dude,
Yeah.
a lot of people think that. Yeah, exactly. All right, number 4, what'd you guys put?
Great Wall of China.
Wall of China, yeah.
It's not right.
What is it?
Nothing.
Yeah, you can.
Nope. Look it up.
Moon?
Look it up. Trust me, I did my research, guys.
All right. Okay. Well, we all got it wrong. So
It's
no blood anyway.
It's a not
Well, they say
mythological.
from
It's a
space.
common. It's a common thought
Well, no, he asked from the moon.
from the
I
moon,
thought
from
the guy
space.
from
said
the moon.
Yes, the moon.
And I
Oh,
thought
I
the
didn't
guys
hear
from
that.
Yeah.
the moon had said they could see the Great Wall of
You
China.
said the moon.
Nope.
I didn't hear you say that.
Sorry.
Okay, go ahead.
Oh, well, give
My
yourself
fault.
the
Like
point
you-
then.
like you would've
Give yourself
got
that
it.
one.
I'm gonna
and
give
Sesame
myself a
Street.
point there, 'cause I
Give
didn't
yourself
know
that one and Sesame Street too.
Look, I know you want that poo bad, but I did put electric company.
Only one of you is going to get a point on this one,
Okay.
and whoever got closest. And you can go over. It's just who's closest. How much did you put?
I said $8
$8.
plus a Star Wars action figure still in the original packaging.
Nice.
I said $6.50.
I said $1.
I win.
Who wins?
No, who wins?
Eric won.
Yeah!
How did Eric win? What was it?
It's a lot of fucking money.
No, he won. Nick.
Then I won. I said $8.
It's a lot of money, I said. Like
He
240.
said $6.50.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you said 650.
No, $6.50.
You guys suck.
Shove that monkey up your ass.
All right, Greg gets that one then.
I gotta go.
No, you don't. You got to stay.
You're Kyle Dunnigan. You're not going up first.
We got. No, it's a. Anyway,
What is it?
it's a meeting. Okay.
A meeting.
Let's go to a meeting.
A rehearsal.
All right, we're almost done.
As far as alternative comedy.
Does anybody know the order of the Indiana Jones? Let's just get through
3,
this.
1, 2, 4.
3, 1, 2?
Yes.
3, 1, 2, 4.
There's
213.
You got it.
Nice, done again.
Really?
Yeah.
I had just guessed.
And there's no reason that they did that. I can't imagine a reason. There's no reason to have a prequel, but Temple of Doom was a prequel. It's really strange.
That's what it is. Okay.
Yeah.
Temple of Doom.
I knew one of them went
Yeah.
first. I knew one of the other ones went first. I couldn't remember.
I think it's because they did.
And I didn't care. That was the other thing.
I think it's because
yeah.
I think it's because his love interest couldn't do it.
Let's go take
Question
some
4A. Do you care?
I know you don't care about any of these.
Okay.
All right. Number 8 we're on, right? No, 7. Mr. Garrison's name.
Idea.
Frank.
No.
Harold.
Do you know?
No idea.
It's Herbert.
Well, I was close. Got the Harold.
Harold, yeah.
Counts.
You're a wordsmith.
And what'd you guys put for number 8?
B.
D.
I put Indian Ocean.
You're right.
I put B as in boy.
I put China.
Nope. It's Indian Ocean.
I knew it was an
China's another one everyone thinks.
Right,
I
exactly.
knew it
I,
was
was
an
like, I
ocean.
didn't know. I was like, well,
I think we're tied, right?
It looks like you have 3.5 points, and Eric has. I think Eric only has 2.
I have 3. I got People, No, and Electric Company.
well, then I'm in there too because I got 3. I got No, Electric Company, and the 8
People.
Colors.
I have Electric Company. What was the last one?
I gotta go.
What was the other one you said you got?
I have the first one. I have 1, 2, and 3. Question 1, 2, and 3.
I have 1, 2, 6, and 8.
You don't
Okay.
get.
You're right.
Okay, yeah.
I'm
All right.
getting that poo.
You get that boom.
All right.
we got
How many presidents were only children?
7.
2.
You're closest.
Shit.
It was 0.
I'm up to 4.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
I was going to say that too. I was
Yeah.
gonna say
I almost
0.
did too, but I somewhere remember hearing there were 2.
No.
I told you that beforehand to throw you off.
And how many people on average are having sex at any given moment?
10,000.
10,000?
Exactly.
2.3 billion.
I said.
That's half the world
That's close.
right now.
I said $1 billion.
That's like 1 out of 6 or 1 out of 7 right
I
now.
won that one. Give me that poo.
It's
I gotta get out of here.
4,000. You're right.
Woo!
Out of the 7 billion people, only 4,000 people are having sex.
And he's
At any
leaving.
second, at any given moment.
You're the winner, not just because you get the poo, but because you're leaving early, you cocksucker. You should have to forfeit the poo for leaving early.
Thanks, buddy.
Thanks,
See
dude.
you.
Thanks for doing it. I appreciate
No
it.
problem. See
See
you
you,
guys.
Wordsmith.
Take care.
Go enjoy your rehearsal or NA meeting or whatever you're going.
On any given day, 400 million people around the world, that's 1 in 17 of us, will have sexual intercourse. Broken down further, about 4,000 people right this second.
Wow.
Yeah.
I want some more pizza.
Go for it, dude. Grab it.
Have some pizza.
All right. So,
I'll be right back. We're still live, right?
yeah, we're live.
We're live.
We'll plug some stuff for Greg. You got a new course coming out at the Haha Cafe?
Yeah, I'll be doing the first, handling hecklers workshop for the first time, which should be fun.
Is it similar to the other one that you did?
No, because this one kind of picks up where the other one ends. Where the other one ends at handling hecklers, this one picks up and really focuses specifically on handling hecklers, not just individually, which is what I touch on in crowd work, but this focuses on handling them also as a group and when you're working against the whole side of the room.
So it's more
and
of like
and it spends the entire time really walking you through the process of handling the heckler.
So it's less focused on crowd work and more focused on the actual when the confrontation happens.
Completely.
Okay.
So it is a very different workshop.
That's cool. I like it. Let's see here. I got some
But
other
I think
stuff.
that's coming up on the 23rd.
23rd of June.
June.
And that's a Saturday?
Mm-hmm.
At the Haha Cafe in North Hollywood.
Yep.
That's cool. You perform there a lot? Haha.
Yeah, occasionally.
Nice. When was the first time that you did comedy, Greg?
It would be 1989
Oh, shit. How did it go?
at a place called Falachi's, which was a deli in Dallas, Texas, that had a comedy night on like Tuesdays. Or I think they ran it a couple nights a week, but I did it on the one night I could sign up, whatever, it was Tuesday night or something. And you know what? It went really fast because my energy, I was all amped up. I didn't do great. I'll tell you the really interesting thing about this. First time ever to do it. And of course I'm nervous, so I get the shits. Right? You ever have to shit before a show?
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have. Yeah.
And so I get really nervous and I have
Or
to shit
piss.
really bad. So I run to the bathroom, and I put down all the toilet paper on the seat, and I sit down. And
I didn't think you did that.
I'm pissing out my ass. Okay. What am I?
DJ PM doesn't do it.
What am I, an animal? Well, he's an animal. He's a gross piece of shit. So I put down the toilet paper, I take my shit, I finish, I get up, I clean my hands, wash my hands, go out there, I'm waiting to go on stage. There's another guy and then me. And this guy who's waiting to go on stage, he looks at me and goes, "Hey man, that's fucking hilarious." And I go, "What is?" He goes, the toilet paper hanging out of the back of your pants. That's fucking hilarious. And I had the toilet paper from the seat. I pulled up my pants and caught a piece of it, and it was hanging out of the back of my pants.
Did you take it off when he told you?
I look at the guy and I go, oh, you know what? I don't think I'm going to do this gag this time. I swear to God, I took it out of my pants and rolled it up through the trash.
Oh my God!
So my very first time.
I wish you would have left it in.
I wish so. But I would have been getting huge laughs, and I would have had no idea why. I would have thought I was a genius.
Yeah.
Comedy Central probably would have given me a special immediately.
Started off as a prop comic, basically.
Yeah, basically.
So how did it go? I mean, was it shitty?
The set. I remember there was one joke that to me, in my amateur mind, from mindset of I see comedy, I know how it works, which is how people always think. They're like, I get it. No, I see it. I know how it works. And I had this joke about being Mexican.
Which you are.
Which I am. And I thought it was hilarious. I said, and I really thought everyone was going to really go with me on this. I was like, my mom, we're Mexican because we have 7 kids, and my mom just serves my father, and we all just mooch to the left.
Just kind of pass the food.
I thought the idea of mooching it along, I thought was genius. I thought everyone was going to be like, Mexicans.
Did you kill the baby immediately, or did you try it again a few times?
I think that one died immediately.
Oh, okay.
Immediately, I was like, oh, that's not funny. Okay. I thought it sure seemed like it was going to be funny. And so I just...
those moments where you're like, nothing?
No, yeah, like, nothing really?
Anybody?
Yeah, it was terrible.
Anybody? Nothing.
So, and then I don't even remember how it ended. I just remember that joke specifically died. Because I really thought that one was going to launch the whole career.
Right.
And I really did.
It's funny what you think when you start.
Totally, dude. When you think it looks so easy. It looks so easy.
Yeah,
You're like,
there's going to be a sitcom based off that joke.
Off that joke of mooch. It was going to be called Mooch to the Left, please. And I really...
It was going to be the new Where's the Beef?
Yeah, it's going to be huge.
This fall on NBC, Mooch to the Left with the Greg Wilson.
Exactly. And so that's, that was my first real hard lesson in stand-up. That things that you think you know how stand-up works, you don't have any idea how stand-up
I don't know if I ever told you the first time I did comedy what I did. It was around the same time, but I skipped many years after that.
Yeah, I did too.
I went to the Laugh Factory. I read Judy Carter's book, like all
the
this
one
stuff.
That's wrong?
Right. So I read the book.
I hate that fucking book.
And I was like, go to a coffee shop for the first time or some small bar. And that's what it says to do. I'm like, so I went and I watched and nobody's laughing. So I'm like, fuck this. I'm going to the fucking Laugh Factory. So I go to the Laugh Factory 6 a.m. I get there and I had this plan for months because I planned on doing stand-up for months, but I didn't do it yet, So I was watching the previews for the Godzilla movie with Matthew Broderick, which was in that year.
Right.
And there were signs all over Hollywood like, his tail is longer than this bus. His claws are bigger than this billboard. That was the advertisement, that they were using.
Right.
So
size does matter.
Right. So 6 months later, Godzilla's long gone. But I still get up on stage like an idiot. First thing out of my mouth, his dick is longer than this stage. And that's... And then it was pretty much the same thing.
Right.
Yeah.
You thought it was going to...
Yeah, I hear cars going down Sunset.
Right.
I'm just like...
You honestly think to yourself, you're expecting people... to just like, oh, gee, and it was right there.
And then I went into I have to read when I poop bit, and that was that didn't go so well either.
That didn't do it either.
What about you, Eric? When did you start?
Well, I had a great experience my first time.
Really?
This is weird listening to you guys.
Eric's always been amazing.
For me, it was like 93, 94.
Uh-huh.
I went to, I took a class at the UCLA Extension.
Well, and that just, a class may have helped. If I'd taken a class, I might have had a better handle on it.
I just did it. I told my mom, I said, I want to be stand-up comic. So she found UCLA. Oh, look, UCLA Extension. So I did it.
Who taught it?
Mitzi Shore's daughter taught it.
Oh, okay. Well,
I took her class at the Comedy Store in the Belly Room.
Yeah, she actually has a book out, doesn't she? Like The Secret of Stand-Up or something?
Yeah, but a scary experience. But anyway, the showcase was actually the first time I ever did stand-up was at the original room in the Comedy Store in front of like family and friends, that kind of thing. And
I did not invite family and friends to my first time.
Yeah.
I didn't want to either. I didn't want to, I told my mom she could not come.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I did it, but I just remember it. I just remember it was great. You know what I mean? I just had a really great experience. But I remember some of the horrible jokes. You know what I mean? Like I remember one of the jokes was, there's never any black people on Jeopardy, and if there was, they'd have like the categories would be like barbecue holidays, blind singers.
Yeah. That's great. At least those are decent jokes.
Those crowds are supportive though, when all the friends and family are there. So that's
well.
Good.
That was the thing. I just didn't invite. I invited a girl I was trying to bang.
Oh,
like
I
immediately wanted to use comedy to get pussy. That was my
from the beginning.
From the very
he
first
had no respect for comedy from the beginning.
I was like, all I know is I got to get on stage, do a couple jokes, and bang this bitch.
The hardest thing for
Did you bang her?
Later, yes.
Not that night.
Not that night.
Yeah.
Recently.
Not too recently.
Only because his girlfriend's listening.
Right.
No, she's not.
Just in case. The hardest thing for me to, like, you know, I thought it went great, you know? And I remember my friend was there he was like, I remember my friend Peter was like, I'm going to be your manager. And he's all like,
right. They're like, dude, you're going straight to the top.
You know, and then the thing for me was like, after that, it was like, now what? And that was the hardest part about stand-up comedy.
Yeah.
And being in Los Angeles. That was the hardest part because I was like, now what? Because I remember that show in the OR, when we finished that show, they just rolled the real show over.
Right.
The first guy that went on stage was Carlos Mencia.
Ooh.
You know? But I'm watching Carlos Mencia and I'm thinking in my mind, you know what? I could do this.
I can do this, right. Well, that isn't that hard.
Seriously, because he was talking about like Taco Bell, you know, this kind of, and I was like, oh, this is awful, you know what I mean? At the time, you know? And then he brings up Chris Tucker.
Whew.
You know? And then I was like, I don't think I can do this, you know?
Yeah.
Just the way he was, you know, and it was just, but my whole point was like, even then I thought to myself, okay, how do you get on that show?
Right.
This was the show after yours?
Yeah. How do you get on the real show?
How do you get on the real show? And that was always a struggle for me early on being in Los Angeles because I'm from
spending
LA.
your time in the dirt shows.
Yeah. No, and just not knowing, like, how do you get on the improv stage? How do you get up? Like, it was no... You know, there's no help. There's no manual. There's no, like, people.
I did write one. It'll be coming out soon.
There's no people.
How to get on the improv stage?
Well, I mean, it teaches you, ways to start getting on that stage.
No,
so.
people, nobody's helping you. And,
yeah.
You know what
but
I mean?
yes, you're right. And it's a very individual thing, too.
Yeah.
You know? Everyone's their own army. So, and especially at that level, no one's trying to help you go up. Everyone's trying to get around you. You know, everyone's fucking each other at that level, and even at every level. But I mean, particularly when they're young, because everyone wants.
No, but on that level, here's the thing we deal with. I think in stand-up comedy, it's not about pushing anybody down. It's about not expecting anyone to be better than they are.
Right.
That's what it is. So, like, when you get to a certain, like, this point I'm at right now, in the last couple of years, it's like I'm around people that headline and they do stuff, right? So they're working comedians. They don't have real jobs. Okay?
Like who?
You know, just...
I'm kidding.
There's a lot of people.
No, I know. I know all the same people.
Now, when you volley yourself a little higher, that's when people start to get a little bit like, oh, because they don't really expect it.
Right.
They don't expect it and they don't want it.
No. No one ever wants it.
You know, nobody wants
it. But then, once you get onto that level, you're happy to be there, but nobody's happy for you to be there.
It's really strange.
They're like, oh, great, another one's up here now. You know? Because there's only so many slots. There's only so many slots on so many nights.
After your first time that went well, like, was it smooth sailing or was there some shitty...
No, that's just a common thing. Like, you know, people... Look, anytime... First of all, in my experience, the first time you tell a joke is you know, it's going to be really good. And it's because you have a certain energy the way you're saying it.
Right.
There's a way you're doing it, and then it's the second time you tell it that it's going to suck balls because you didn't say it the same way.
Right.
It didn't have that new energy to it. So being a good stand-up comic is about, like, recreating that every time you say something. You know what I mean? So
well, and I talk about that with the first time we do stand-up because, as I remembered, it actually did end up going well because my adrenaline was so high and I was so high energy. It did actually go well, and it was the second time when I actually ate shit. And I tell people that. You know, I'm like, listen, the first time your adrenaline's so high, it'll carry you. Something will happen, and you'll get something out of it. Your friends will be there, laugh, whatever. But it's the second time when that adrenaline, when now it isn't quite new, and so something, and that's when you get acquainted with how bad it can hurt to fucking eat something.
Did they not laugh at shit the second
time?
time?
Oh my God, I ate it the second time.
In Dallas?
Yeah. It was pretty, and in fact, I think that was when I stopped doing stand-up at that point.
Oh, just right after the second time?
I think that was second or third time.
How long did you...
Yeah. Because I actually got hired by this improv troupe that was very popular in Dallas. They were like the second city of Dallas.
Right.
And I had gone to see them. I would go see them, and they would have these sold out shows, and everybody loved them. And then I saw an audition notice for an improv troupe, and I thought, oh, wouldn't it be great if this were like them? And I went, and it was them, and they hired me and put me in the fucking troupe. And I went from doing this shitty fucking deli show to performing to sold out crowds on Friday and Saturday night, literally in 1 week. And so I was like, fuck stand up. I'll be over here in troupe improv making money and getting pussy.
You're good with the improv.
And that's what I did for the next 9 years. We did a ton of colleges.
What the difference is for people that started doing comedy outside of Los Angeles, the difference is they get this experience of performing in front of big crowds. Mm-hmm. That's what I noticed. Like, if you go to Chicago, you go any place, like, there are local comics there, and they're on the show that's like a big crowd, so they're experiencing that. When you're in L.A., and you're from L.A., you're starting comedy in L.A., you don't get to experience that.
There's 2,000 shows at any moment. Like, there's like,
they're all you're not going to be on that show.
Yeah, you're not going to be on that show, no.
You're not going to be on that show.
Oh, well, believe me, when I went back into stand-up, there just weren't enough rooms. Because the only options were playing, there weren't any really small shows. So the only options were trying to work your way in on certain nights at the club. Right. And there just weren't enough of those to get any better. So I was like, I got to go to New York. So I went to New York, and that's where I got into the trenches. That's when I got into the trenches. But to me, that's
what's the problem with a lot of comics that move from little places to come here. Is that now they come in front of like 11 people and they're just like, this is it.
And they sandbag it. Yeah,
there's only 11 people in here. It's like,
I was huge back in my hometown. It's like, well, welcome to the bottom.
Yeah, I used to open and I would be like, you're a
I
piece
opened
of
for
shit.
this guy and that guy. It's like, well, yeah, because there was nobody else to open for him in that town. Yeah, no, I went to New York and I had to get in the trenches and I'm proud to say that in 6 years I went from the open mics to being a regular at every single club except, like, I think one.
What made you stop the improv and go back to stand-up after you thought it was so shitty?
Because improv shitty.
Is it? That's
well, you know what? Here's the thing, though. Unlike stand-up,
sucks.
Where stand-up, though, is this lone game of lone wolves, it was like being in a hilarious band. You had
a team.
Yeah, we would travel together. We had an RV. We would go on all these road gigs. It was fucking great. We'd play cards. We'd blow money. We'd go to strip clubs. We'd do blow, get hooker. It was great. Okay, but it's hard to break out as an individual talent from a troupe environment. It became clear all that was going to happen was I was going to be part of this troupe till forever. How long? Until I got sick of it and quit. And so stand-up was the only way I could go and make a career for myself as an individual artist.
Have you done you've done the improv, obviously, since you think it's shitty. But what was it like?
Yeah, I did. I did Groundlings, and
did you create your own little offshoot troupe like Mixed Nuts or?
Yeah, we did. And I did.
What was the name of your troupe?
No, when I was coming up, it was like sketch groups were big.
Right.
Doing sketch. I was in a sketch group called the Suckling Pigs.
There it is. And you always got to come up with some name.
Just waiting for something.
Yeah.
And then I was in another one called Trouser Shock.
There you go.
And the thing is, like, doing sketches were fun. I enjoyed that.
Yeah.
It was like acting, but it's like I never was a big like. To me, improv is a skill you should have to make your show better.
Right.
Yeah.
Not a show.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Well, and that's the thing. We did a games show. It was like a comedy sports type thing.
Which
I got to tell you, at the time was huge and was a lot of fun.
I just can't stomach
When I discovered it, I thought it was the greatest thing of all time.
When I hear like, okay, let's get a profession.
Exactly.
Okay, what? I heard astronaut, and where are you? You're in Amsterdam.
Exactly.
Okay.
No, give us a non-geographical location.
Here we go.
Yeah.
It's like, kill yourself. I just want to set myself on fire.
I gotta tell you, it was a lot of fun. I loved doing it. And if I could have made a real career out of just doing that, I probably would have stayed.
Well, it's a different experience for everybody. It probably depends who's on your team.
Well, and that was the other thing. I mean, we weren't in.
Eric's like, nah, it just sucks.
Well, I was in this sketch.
Well, he was like, don't these people realize I'm the star? I gotta go somewhere where I'm the star of this shit.
It's funny because I was like, that's funny because I feel like that now.
Don't worry, there's nobody listening or watching.
They will.
Just his mom. I remember I was in this group. This is why I got out of this one group, Trouser Shock. Okay, because first of all they had this.
Because it was called Trouser Shock.
No, that's not what it was. They had this weird sense of humor.
Right.
Like a lot of it was like it'd be like how in Family Guy when Peter falls and hurts his leg and he just like for 3 minutes he goes. It's like that kind of. I like that kind of, and that's all their humor was like that. But I remember one of the guys said, we're having a meeting. And he says, well, look, listen, none of us are ever going to be on TV. So
And you were like...
I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, like, oh,
and
that's
I'm out of here.
mentality.
And I'm out.
Right. You should all be thinking, listen, we all want to get on TV.
Right.
So we got to make this shit great.
So I said, I got to get away from this loser.
Totally, exactly.
Yeah, bad attitude.
We're not cut from the same cloth.
Yeah.
I'm going to be on TV.
Right.
3 seasons.
No, I just really was like, no, I had to get away from that. It's like, and it's like, and it is hard to be in a group with such, like, when you have strong personalities. I always think that the best way to have a group is they have to be, there has to be a leader.
A leader, and
there has to be somebody has to be in charge
on the same page.
And luckily, we were run by a tyrant who made sure everyone understood his decision was final.
Right, you have to have that,
and you really did. It's what made it work. And in fact, when he went away, the whole thing fell apart.
No, that's exactly because I was in this other group, Swank. You know Brett Walco.
You were asking him for names earlier. Now he has like all these crazy ones coming out.
Yeah, I remember.
It's so stupid. Well, no wonder you were in Swank and fucking Trouser Shock.
What was the other one before that?
Suckling Pig.
No wonder you were we were in a fucking huge, professional, legitimate improv troupe.
We had some funny sketches.
We had our own theater. We sold out 4 shows a week. We were fucking huge.
We used to go to this. We used to put on some good shows. We had some funny. It was like we were like. It was just about that time when people were starting to do like videos, So we made this video called Super Maya Angelou, and I was Maya Angelou.
I love Maya Angelou's work.
But anyway, my point is, I'm glad to be out of that, and maybe I would.
I still go back and do it sometimes. When I'm back in Dallas, I perform with the old troupe.
Oh, that's cool.
I would love a sketch. See, nobody does sketches anymore. It's all online videos.
Right.
That's the new sketch.
Those are sketches, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, because nobody wants to do a sketch just to perform in front of 8 people,
right.
at an upstairs at a shopping center theater.
Yeah.
They want 1 million hits.
Yeah.
So why do a show live? And that's the other thing. Live performance has been so denigrated because of the internet that real craftsmanship of the art is lost because it can only be developed through repetition in front of a live audience. You learn so much about your craft live in front of an audience, including your work. Like songs aren't done until you perform them on the road for a long time, and they've developed little caveats. Same with material. Sometimes you ever see somebody doing a Conan set or something, and you're like, "Oh, that's a little new. That's too new." Okay, they hired him for that joke, because they had one great routine that had been worked out for a while. Then he had to put some other shit in front of it to fill out the 5 minutes.
No, those people are so stupid anyway, because they're always like, "Oh, we like this joke from this set."
Yeah.
And we like this joke, and we want you to do it like that. That's why I've never been on these shows, because I'm just not that type of comic.
They control a lot of it, don't they? They try to really
completely control it.
Yeah.
Like Darren Carter did one Tonight Show, and they sat there and they cherry picked from his hour-long show the 5 minutes that they wanted.
Right.
And
that was so long ago.
And that was a long time ago.
It looks like his son.
Yeah. He had a full head of hair.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I think he's on the show next week. Did you start in L.A. the whole time? You've been in L.A.
I was born in L.A.
Have you done New York comedy?
Yes. When I got back into comedy, so like when I in '94 when I started, I wasn't really doing comedy. I stopped. I just wasn't doing it. It wasn't until 2003 that I knew that I needed to get out of L.A. So that's when I started doing like triple runs and stuff like that. And, but that's what you have to do. You can't get good at comedy in L.A.
Right.
See, but you can in New York.
In New York is different.
In New York, you really can.
What is the difference?
There's a lot of places to perform.
There's just a million shows going on, and every part of town has its own different vibe. Plus the tourist crowds, which is like playing all of America.
First of all, those New York comics should be way funnier. Okay, when they come here, a lot of them should be way funnier.
Well, a lot of them cut out because it's so hard to work your way up that chain in New York. A lot of them cut out way too soon and come here like, I'm ready, and they're nowhere near. They didn't make it in New York. They didn't conquer shit in New York.
I have a funny Greg Wilson story.
Oh, let's hear that.
Here we go.
So,
before you tell the story, I can tell you look very thin.
Thank you.
See if that softens the blow.
We'll see what happens.
No. This isn't a bad story.
Okay.
This is like about New York. Okay, so I'm doing live in Gotham.
Okay.
Right? And I wanted to do I've never performed in New York before. So he sets up, Greg sets up a show for me at this club. It's closed down now.
The Times Square Club.
But it was down the street from, 2 other clubs. Not Caroline's, but what's the Cellar. It was down the street from the Cellar. Like
right. It was like the Comedy Corner.
Comedy something or other, right?
What year was this?
So I walked in 2008.
2000. Oh, it was only like 4 years ago.
Yeah. So I walk up to the guy and I go, Greg Wilson,
the Comedy Village.
Comedy Village.
There we go.
So there's this black guy at the door and he's just like, he's like, how long you been doing comedy? You can't just show up on a Saturday and he's going. I'm telling you, the guy that you set it up with wasn't there at the time.
Okay, I was gonna say because big redheaded white guy normally.
Yeah.
Was the guy that was
So this guy's all going, and so I go like this. I say to him so he's giving me a real hard time about this. Yeah. So I say to him, I say, you know what? Thanks anyway, and I'll be sure to tell Greg that he's not as popular as he thinks he is. And I walk down the street. I start walking.
Right.
About 2 minutes later, this dude is chasing me down. Erik! He's like, yo, man, I'm sorry. Going on and on like that. Because I was thinking to myself, and it was just such a weird, it was such a weird, so I think the other guy came, and then
he probably was like, no, that's Greg's guest. I told him you idiot. I said if he shows up, put him on.
So funny. But I say this, New York is way more gracious to out-of-towners than L.A. is. You can go to New York, and if you could just know a few comics, and they'll be like, "This is our buddy from L.A. Can you get up and do some time?" And they're like, "Yeah, sure."
Yeah.
And you can do 5 or 6 sets. It was crazy. That's something that blew my mind. It made me think damn, I want to go spend a month in New York. I could probably do better now just for having a little more status.
Oh, totally, dude, completely. You go as that Workaholics credit up there. You could work you can walk into all the major clubs, and they will put you on.
How long did you work New York when you went?
Just that week,
right?
That week. And then, and then I've done I can count the times I've performed in New York. So I did Gotham, and then I was just there visiting family another time, and I had a couple of buddies. I did a couple of shows, excuse me, and then just recently I headlined Gotham. You know, so and that was great. I actually love performing in New York.
Yeah, I love it too. Hey, listen, if I thought if there were more TV work to be done there, I would have stayed. But it was just I had gotten into the cycle of stand-up, which is great. That's a major achievement. But that's all I was doing. I did VH1, I did Ugly Betty, I did Law & Order, and that was all the TV that was shot there. I even did a pilot for MTV. That was it. I'd done everything that was available in New York, and so I was like,
and then you get into a thing of where, those New York comics, they make a living.
Yeah. Doing
comedy. That's something that people on the West Coast don't understand at all either.
Right.
If you're an LA comic, you're not making a living as a stand-up comic.
Right. Well, and in New York, it's only the top tier people who work all the major rooms that have all those spots get that. And I got up to that level, but it's very hard.
Yeah.
Why is it so different? I mean, they're both big cities.
Because there's certain clubs, there's a certain level of comedian, and all the clubs use those comedians.
Right.
And so once you get into that group,
you're different here.
You're rotating, and that's true. It's very much the same here. But there's fewer clubs. There's only 3 clubs there.
I would say it's
Whereas
even
in New
harder
York,
here.
there's 13 clubs. So if you get in a rotation, you're doing 5, 6 clubs. You can make, a pretty good nut for the week. Not great, but decent enough.
I heard that you get up 6 times a night and shit over.
Absolutely.
I've never been.
If you roll in a couple of bar shows with a couple of club shows, absolutely. Plus it goes till 4 a.m. I would go and I would have 3 spots after midnight.
Yeah, see, that kind of stuff's great. If you get 2 spots in a night here in L.A., you're just like, wow.
Totally I'm killing this town. I'm killing it. I'm sticking my dick in it twice tonight.
Yeah, it's hard. And,
in New York, you're always okay, I got to hit the strip early, then I'm going to run down to the cellar, and then I'm going to go to the Laugh Lounge, and then I'll close it out with 2 shows up in Times Square.
Just getting around, though, is easier in New York.
Totally, everything's tight. If you can't catch your train, you get on a cab real fast.
Yeah, L.A. is weird like that.
Yeah, LA, it's just, there's only 3 major clubs, really. Well, plus the Ha, but no one considers it one of the majors.
Well, there's more than that now, I think.
Lovitz.
You got Lovitz,
which is
Flappers.
Is that even really considered? I mean, I like Lovitz, and I perform there, but they only do 2 stand-up shows a week.
It's mostly podcasts.
It's a podcast
now,
theater.
But, they're still doing stand-up,
But even still, okay, you got Lovitz, Flappers. Ha-ha. Ice House,
yeah,
the Laugh Factory, the Comedy Store, the Improv, and then you have the other 3 improvs.
But those aren't L.A. Pasadena, other 3 improv, the Ice House, the other 3 improvs don't count.
I feel like the New York ones are all very close in vicinity. Is that true, or are they miles?
Well, they're in Manhattan. They're not. Well, some of them are right around the fucking corner from each other.
Right.
Remember when Comics was open around in the old Gotham space?
No, this space you're talking about right now, the club we were just talking about.
Yeah, the Village.
It was a block away from 2 clubs.
Yeah. It was right around the corner from the Laugh Lounge and
Cellar.
And the Cellar.
Yeah, the only 3 that are really close to each other, like you were saying, Laugh Factory, Comedy Store, Improv, Hollywood. Yeah, so those are like.
That's why they consider the 3 major clubs, but but still, I mean, the Ice House is not that far away to be considered like how it's not Ontario.
Right.
It's not, but it's not considered. I wouldn't consider it an LA club.
It's a half hour away.
I mean, people have trouble considering the Ha Ha an LA club, and it's just on the other side of the hill. The
valley.
And I love it.
Well, guys, I think that's good. I mean, we hit an hour here. It's our first episode. Fuck you, Greg. And
get back to my previously scheduled programming.
All right. Thank you, Eric, for coming down. Thank you, Greg, for coming down. I really appreciate it. Take as much pizza as you want. Episode 1 is in the can. Next week we have.
You take one pizza, I'll take the other pizza.
Yeah, just grab it.
Yeah.
Next week we have Adam Ray, Darren Carter, and Melissa Villasenor.
You love her. You love her.
She's
got
cool.
on America's Got Talent for like 6 seconds, and you love her.
It was longer than that. You hate her.
Bust balls. I'm a ball buster. It wasn't.
Tomato.
It was 6 seconds.
There we go. That's a good fade out.